Hello everyone, I am Dr. Jyoti Mandala. Welcome you all to the video lecture series on the course operating system. We are in the process of learning about process synchronization. So we are learning different solutions to resolve the critical section problem. We all have understood while learning about the background of process synchronization. We understood like if there is no process synchronization is there is no process synchronization, then it may lead to race condition when shared variables are accessed simultaneously by multiple processes. To avoid that one, we need to maintain a critical section where in that section we will be having all our shared resources. Now, we are learning in the process of learning different solutions to the critical section problem. We have understood there are two types of solutions, software solution and hardware solution. As part of software solution, we have learned about Peterson solution. But what is the problem with the software solution, which is Peterson solution, is it will be applicable only to two set of processes. So that's why we need to go with the hardware solution. And we have two approaches with the hardware solution, test and set and swap instruction. In the last video, we have understood about this test and set instruction. I hope you all are clear with that concept. If you have not learned, I suggest you to go through that video and understand how this test and set instruction will help us in achieving this process synchronization. Today, we will be understanding about this swap instruction, which is the second type of hardware solution. Now, same like your test and set instruction, this is also a atomic instruction. Swap instruction is also an atomic instruction. Atomic instruction is nothing but all the instructions in this machine instruction swap will be executed in one machine cycle. So even though it is having some set of instructions, all the instructions will be executed in one machine cycle only. So this test and set instructions, swap instructions are atomic instruction. Whenever we are calling this one, all the instructions in this will be executed. Machine instructions they are. But for our understanding, we will be showing it in the C code or general programming code. But don't get confused like all the instructions will be executed in different cycles. No, that will not be happening. Whenever we are calling test and set or swap instructions, all the instructions in this will be executed in one machine cycle only. All right. Now let us understand what is this swap instruction. This swap instruction is like your regular normal swap code only, where you might be already knowing the logic for performing that swap of two variables, the value of two variables. The same thing is adopted here. So this is the code for the swap instruction. You can see here how it is working. It resembles the same swapping of two variables, how you will be doing in a programming language where it requires a function. Okay. So you can see this function here. This function is taking a swap variable, function name is swap, which requires two variables a and b. Both are of boolean data type and these are pointer variables. The meaning like this a is holding a address of a variable which is of boolean type, and b is also holding an address of a variable which is of boolean type. Now, this function, after performing this operation, it is not going to return anything. That's why it has been represented as void. Now, the value of A has to be kept in B and the value of B has to be stored in A. To do that one, we have taken one temp variable and these three instructions will help us in exchanging the value of A to B and B to A. This is a simple swapping instruction, swapping function. Now, this can help us in achieving this critical section problem. How we are going to do that one, let us understand. So the code for mutual exclusion here using swap is this one. Keep your heading all of you. Mutual exclusion. using swap. The code is like this. The code is very simple. We have do, and then we have some variables used here. Now, before proceeding with these things, understand what are all the variables used here. You might be observing a variable called key and a variable called lock. So here two variables are used, key and lock. Both are Boolean type. Key is maintained by individually by all the processes, but lock here is a global variable which is a shared variable between all the processes. Suppose if you have two processes, let us consider P naught and P1. P1, then this P0 and P1 will be commonly using a variable called lock variable, whose initial value will be equal to false. And each process P0 and P1 is having their own key value. Initially the key values are nothing. We can consider it as false only. If any process wants to use the critical section, then it has to start executing from here. Let us understand how it is working. Okay, so let us start. P naught wants to enter into the critical section. All right, so P naught wants to enter into the critical section. So P naught has started its execution. Now what happens? P naught will go here. What it has done? It has done key value equal to true. So its key value is now true. Now come to the next statement. While key equal to true, whose value is true and it is equal to true, so the condition has become true, it will come inside, and it is calling the function called swap ampersand of lock and ampersand of key. Let us consider for P naught the key value has been stored at a location called 100, and the lock value, which is a shared variable, let us consider it has been stored at a location called 500. Now, whenever we are sending the address of log, 500 will be passed and it will be stored for A. In the A, that means A is also now representing to this location only. Now, next parameter is key, whose address is 100. That means B also now pointing to this location only. Right. So we have called this swap instruction. It will come inside. We will take a new variable called temp. So temp variable will be taken, and then temp is assigned with star of A. What is star of A? The value of A is at A is false. So temp value will be having false. Now star of A equal to star of B. What is the value of B? True, which is replaced at A value. So this will be now true. Now star of B is now changed with the temp. What is star of B? True, which will be replaced with the temp value which is false. So this will be replaced with false. Just exchanging these two values. Right. Now after this is done, it will come back to the place from where it has been called. It will go back to the while condition. Key value. What is the key value now for P naught? It is false. False equal to true is false. The condition has become false. So what happened? It will come out of this one. It will enter into the critical section. Now P naught is in the critical section. Now, when P naught is in the critical section, let us check if P1 wants to enter into the critical section, how it will work. So now P1 wants to enter into the critical section. Okay, P1 wants to enter into the critical section. It will execute this statement. What is this? It will make its key value to true. So for P1, the key value is true now. Now next statement, while key equal to true, which is true equal to true, which is equal to true now for P1. So it will come inside. It is calling the swap function where it is passing the lock address. The lock address is this one 500, which is a shared variable. But for key, let us consider for P1, the address is 200. Okay, for P1 I am talking. Observe the coloring here. For P1, this is for P1. Okay, the key value is 200. And this is for P0. Don't get confused. Now what happens for log? 500 will be transferred here. And then key value of 200 will be transferred here. Now temp value again. This is for new function called temp value will be created, whose value is star a. Star a is nothing but true here. True will be stored. Okay, and star a equal to star b. What is there in b? What is there in star b? B is nothing but your 200 location, right? Don't get confused. Here it is 200 location. B is also B is pointing to this location. Okay, so star b is nothing but what? It is true. Okay, so B, that true value will be stored in A. So again, this will be replaced with the true only. And then B value will be replaced with the temp. What is the B value? This will be stored with the temp value. What is it? True. Right. Now it will, after executing this one, it will go back to the place from where it has been called. And again, it will execute key equal to true. What is that key value we got for P1? True only. True equal to true. Again, it is true only. So it will be in the loop only. So P1 will be keep on checking this condition. Why? Because both the temp and the log value both are true only. So even though we try to exchange these two values, you will be getting true only. Why it is happening? Because P0 is already in the critical section and we want to achieve this one. P1 can't able to enter into the critical section. That is what our mutual exclusion means. Got it? Right. So this is how we are able to achieve the this one mutual exclusion, where if one process is in the critical section, another process, in our case P1, is waiting to enter into the critical section. It is not allowed to enter into the critical section. All right. Second case, let us say P0 has completed its work here and it has come to this place. Okay. Now, in that case, P0 is here now and it has to execute lock equal to false. That means now lock will be changed to false. Right. And then now P1, whichever is checking here, what it does, key value equal to true. Yeah, key value is true only for P1. It will come here, lock value has become false here and key value is true. It will be exchanged. Finally, P1 could able to enter into the critical section and this one will become true. I hope you all are understanding, right? This Right. Now, as P0 has come out of this loop, P1 could able to enter into the critical section. So this is how we should understand here. If one process is in the critical section, another process has been blocked. That means this part from here to here is called as locking by one process when it enters into the critical section, and this part of the code is called as unlocking. That means another process which is waiting here can able to enter into the critical section. So this is how simple swap instruction will help us in achieving in solving the critical section problem. I hope you all could able to understand this one. But this solution of swap instruction will not satisfy all the requirements. We already learned three requirements should be satisfied. What are they? Mutual exclusion, bounded wait, and progress. Progress is achieved. Okay. Progress is nothing but if any process is waiting, it has to be given a chance, right? Mutual exclusion is also given as this one, because when one process is there, another process has been blocked. So, but it is not given a solution. It is not satisfying this requirement of bounded wait. That is the problem with this swap instruction. But if you want to have the solution for all these solution which satisfies all these three requirements, then we need to go with Test and set instruction only. Test and set instruction will satisfy all the three requirements that are suggested by the critical section problem. What are they? Mutual exclusion, bounded weight, and progress. So with this, we come to the end of the solutions to the critical section problem, both hardware solution and software solution. I hope you all are clear with these lectures. Let us all meet in the next lecture. Until then, thank you all of you.